Hi, I'm Amber from All Ruse Customs with Amber.
And I'm Hazel from Homemade with Hazel.
And tonight we are trying easy pork chops, pan-seared pork chops. Step 1, heat a skillet to medium-high heat. And preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Take a bowl and put a little bit of steak seasoning, a little bit of dry rub, some black pepper, a little garlic powder, tiny bit of salt because a lot of those already have salt, and pork is salty. Mix and generously sprinkle. I always like to rub it in. Flip. And repeat.
Okay, so this is where we're going to lay our pork chops after we take them out of the hot cast iron skillet. You do not have to have a rack like this. If you don't have one, you may use foil or parchment paper. But this is how we're going to slide it into the oven today.
Take your hot cast iron skillet.
What is that?
Put a little bit of olive oil in there just so your pork chops do not stick. Remember, cast iron gets hot. And pick up a pork chop, and we can place 3 in this skillet, depending on the size. You don't want to overcrowd the pork chop. And leave them there for about 3 minutes. Check your pork chops after a couple minutes. As they start to brown, flip. Remember, we're going to place them in the oven to finish up. So you just need a good sear on each side.
Okay, so the reason that we sear them like this first is to seal in the color and the flavor. What this does is it keeps them from drying out once we put them into the hot oven to finish cooking. So the point is just to brown the outside of the pork chop here. We're not
You've got to brown on both sides. And we're going to transfer them to our sheet.
Okay, so then we're going to load the skillet one more time. And once these have browned on both sides, we'll transfer the entire sheet of pork chops into the oven to finish cooking.
So now we've transferred all of our pork chops to our baking sheet, and we're going to place in the oven for about 8 minutes at 350 degrees. It looks terrible. The best pans for potatoes, baked potatoes, wedges, french fries, anything. If you're gonna bake them, it's the best.
Because it's gonna look like
this is what
anyway.
it's gonna turn out like anyways. After you do potatoes on it a couple times, it's gonna be terrible.
Okay.
So don't worry about it.
Hey, Dad.
No sprinkles, no way.
Oh! Time to get the pork chops out of the oven.
So how do they look if they're done? How do we know?
Okay. How about we do this? We'll cut one open. That way you can see. And I'll even get one of the lighter ones so you'll see. It doesn't have to be super dark. And pork. Tiny bit of pink. Best if you let it set for another 5 to 6 minutes after you bake it. Or cook it in any way. And there we go.
Bacon pancakes.
Processed food of America.